All right. We should be live here on YouTube. What's going on, everybody? Happy to be here today in today's live stream, Sunday live stream. Every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be going live here on YouTube. So come on back and join us, and happy for everybody. I'm so thankful for everybody that is here, that joins me here regularly every week here on the Sunday live streams. So I'm going to be answering your guys' questions, so feel free to drop it there in the chat box there. Wanted to talk about in today's live stream as well, this new pedal board that I just put together. Pretty excited about it. This is a smaller pedal board that I put together. Normally the way that I like to use these pedal boards here in Nashville as a musician is I like to have a full-featured pedal board that's a much bigger pedal board that really can kind of do just about everything. It's very versatile. And that's my main pedal board here that I use, like the M9 and the Strymon Flynn. I've shared it here a couple times here on the channel. But this pedal board can really do just about everything. But I like to have a smaller pedal board that's more of like a throw and go kind of setup, where it still is very versatile and it can really do a lot of different things. But it's just smaller in size, where depending on the gig that I'm on, I don't really need all of these pedals and all of these different effects. So that's what I like to have a throw and go pedal board for. So let's see here. We got CZ in the house. Hey, how's it going? Hi, Justin. Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it as always. Thanks for the support. And we also got Keith in the house. Hey, Keith, how's it going? Morning, Justin. Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. I really do appreciate this. A little tired this morning, but got a fresh cup of coffee going here in my Martin's Barbecue mug, which plug for Martin's Barbecue. If you're ever here in Nashville, Tennessee, some of my favorite barbecue in Tennessee is Martin's Barbecue. I absolutely love it. I do also like Interstate Barbecue out in Memphis, Tennessee, but here in Nashville, I really enjoy Martin's. It's a really, really good spot there. Martin's Barbecue coffee mug. But yeah, so thanks so much for being here, everybody. Looks like we're getting some more people joined up here. So once again, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to drop it there in the chat box. I did want to mention throughout this stream as well, I do have some pedals available for sale as well. And I am thinking of maybe selling one of my 68 Plexis. I'm not for sure on this yet, but if you were to be interested, hit me up at jkm4231@gmail.com. Be happy to send you a bunch of photos and stuff, and we could, talk on there about, shipping it or whatever. I really just want to keep it here within the U.S. I don't want to send anything internationally, just because I could see that being a disaster. So let's see. We got Jimmy from Brooklyn in the house. Hey, Justin. Hey, Jimmy. How's it going, man? Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it as always. And we have Ben in the house. Hey, Ben. Good day, Justin. Cheers, folks. What's going on, Ben? Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Looks like we're getting some more people joined up here. And once again, folks, if you have any questions for me whatsoever, feel free to drop it there in the chat box. I try to stay away from any question that's any, involved like advanced music theory or any kind of techniques relating to guitar. But anything else is fair game, and I'd be happy to answer. So, and the only reason why I don't answer that stuff is just because it wouldn't be fair to my students that I'm teaching. So, let's see here. CZ says, hey, Justin, are you going to go to Tom and Guthrie's show this coming week? Possibly, yeah. I got to look into that. I still haven't done that yet. That would be cool. They're playing at 3rd and Lindsley, right? I'm pretty sure. I'll have to take a look. But, yeah, possibly. That sounds cool, for sure. But, yeah. Once again, folks, thanks so much for joining up here in today's live stream. I'm really, really happy that you guys are here. I absolutely love doing these, and love being able to connect with everybody here on YouTube, and people from all over the world join us here on this live stream. And once again, I do want to share this pedal board with you guys that I just put together. It's not totally finished yet. I still got to get some dual lock on the back of a couple of these pedals, but and also I'm still actually missing one pedal that I want to add to it, I'm thinking. But it's the ever-changing pedal board. It's always... Stuff is getting swapped around, and you guys know how it is. As a guitar player, you're constantly swapping stuff. You're looking for new inspiration. So that's really for me with this pedal board, what it is for me. I'm just looking for something new, and I actually did a little short live stream the other day where I was asking you guys what drive pedals you guys are using. Just curious to see what all is out there. There's so many pedals out there. It's just unbelievable. So it's really, really hard to keep up with. But just curious to see what you guys like. Feel free to drop that in the chat box as well. Any kind of drive pedal or any pedal you guys are excited about. Would love to hear it. But also, too, I do have some pedals available for sale. And I'm maybe thinking about selling a 68 Plexi as well, possibly. Not 100% sure yet. But let's see. CZ says here, yes, flying in to go to both shows from Pacific Northwest. Wow, that's awesome. Very cool. That's awesome. Well, have fun with that. That'll be cool. Is it your first time in Nashville? I'd be curious. Or if you have been here, you'll probably barely recognize it now. Honestly, it's changed so much. But a lot of cool new restaurants, a lot of good places to come visit. Nashville has just become a really amazing town for sure. I mean, the food scene is amazing here. There's some really great bars, just really great places to go and hang out. So you'll definitely have a good time for sure. But yeah, I figure I may as well go ahead and just show this pedal board off, actually. So, not completed all the way yet, and there's a couple pedals that aren't dual locked, like this Lightspeed here. But I decided to go with this Lightspeed here as the main drive. So basically the idea with this is I'm just going to be using it with like a deluxe reverb or a HX1. You can see here this HX1 is not dual locked either. That's why it's moving around there. But yeah, it's a really cool setup here. So this is just a Pedal Train Nano Plus that I've got here. And it's a very small, very easy setup. So what I'm thinking to do is I'm going to take this Polytune off here. And I'm going to actually put a RC boost before the Lightspeed just to have a little bit of a gain boost going into this Lightspeed. So I just have a little bit more gain under the fingers. But this Lightspeed is really awesome. This is a really great pedal. Really recommend it to all guitar players out there. This thing is just really, really solid. Really good like low to medium gain style drive. And it really cleans up well with the guitar volume knob, which is really something that I really look for in these drive pedals. But what I'm thinking is I'm going to put this RC boost beforehand, just like how I have it on my main pedal board where I have it before the Nobles. But I'm just going to use the RC before this just to get a little bit of a gain boost. And then, of course, the Boss GE7 will be the solo boost. And then I've got the Strymon Brigadier that, there's a lot of guys using these now. But they're really cool, man. This Strymon Brigadier, it really is similar to a Memory Man. I actually compared these two together once. This was a little bit ago now at this point, the Brigadier versus the Memory Man delay. And I have to say that it is very similar. If you're looking for something that it just gives you the delay and there's no preamp, there's no color, like that's to me where the magic is with those Memory Mans, is that you get that preamp where you can really dial and crank up that preamp knob. And it just gives you this really nice color and this really nice, it just does this really nice thing to the overall guitar sound. Whereas with this, there is no preamp control there. It's just the delay. But I've got to say, it really does sound good. It's really cool. And then this, I'm really excited about here. This Line 6 HX1. This HX1 is just awesome, man. I've got to say, I think every guitar player should have one of these. They're very affordable for what it does. And I mean, this thing has like, I don't know, 150 or 200 plus effects or something, all within just this small little pedal here. And the only thing with it is obviously you can only do one effect at a time. So that's kind of the only downfall with it. But, that said, a lot of the time I really only need just one effect at a time, really. Because say if I maybe need like a reverse delay, or maybe I need a rotary, maybe I need a chorus or a tremolo or something, right? A lot of the time, that's the only other effect that I actually need besides the drive and the delay. Which really for me, even with delay, I just like to have it on in the background just to have a little bit of slapback happening. It just feels good under the fingers and playing leads and stuff, and especially like big diamond, big chords and stuff like this and a chorus. I just like to have a little bit delay, happening behind those chords. So that's why I got to have a delay on all my pedal boards. But this HX1 is just really cool for whatever it is that you're trying to dial up. You could easily reprogram the thing to do whatever you want. And you can even save it as a preset where you could scroll through these presets and kind of somewhat use it like a pedal board. So really, really cool. I've got to say, man, this Line 6 stuff, the HX stuff is just awesome. Absolutely love it. So decision that I need to make with this pedal in particular is I need to decide if I want to put the drive section in the effect loop of this HX1. Now, the only downfall with this is that if you do that, you can only run it mono. You can't run it stereo, so you won't be getting stereo effects. But it's one of those things, if I'm using this size pedal board, I'm most likely just going to go mono anyways. So, it's just kind of something to think about. But, what's cool about running the drive section in the loop of this is that you could reposition where it is within the flow, the signal flow of this pedal. So, if you wanted to have a phase before your drive section, you could dial that up on this. Whereas if you wanted a reverse delay, you would want it, or, a long reverb or something like this, you would want it after the drive section. So something to think about there. But this Line 6 HX1 is just awesome. And it's all powered by this True Tone CS6. Really love those power supplies. So really happy with this setup. Just got to dual lock down this HX1 and the light speed here. And I do want to put another RC boost on this board too. I think that'll be really good, but really excited about this pedal board. I think it's going to be really cool. But yeah, once again, I'd be curious what everybody's using for their drive pedals. Let's see, we got a bunch more comments here. We've got Magic Matt in the house. Hey, Magic Matt, how's it going? Yo, Justin, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Let's see. CZ says here, yes, I've been to Nashville many times for some music projects, and then later to see a show. I was shocked a couple years ago when I came. Wow, the changes. Yeah, the late 80s Nashville was the best. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, that must have been a cool time back in those days. I moved here 10 years ago now, just about, and I can't believe how much different it is. I mean, it's unreal. But it's crazy. I was just actually seeing something online that, and I do remember this. I remember like 10 years ago, going downtown, it used to be free street parking. If you could find a spot, it was just free street parking. But if you couldn't find a spot down there, it was just $5 for parking. Now, I mean, there's some of those parking garages downtown there that are $50. I mean, it's crazy. But it's just crazy how much it's just changed around here. Drinks are definitely expensive, so be ready for that. Let's see. I'll be staying near Broadway this time. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to check out that show. I got to see if there's still tickets available. Maybe I'll show up. That'd be cool. Let's see. Ben says here, I'm pretty sure Strymon no longer makes the Brigadier. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've seen that they have the smaller version. They call it like the Brig. And that's just like a smaller footprint, just a single foot switch. But what I like with the older one is I like to have a tap tempo just on its own separate switch. I just don't want to have to mess with any of these like secondary functions of like having to hold down a switch or something and then tap tempoing. I just like to have it just on a straight up switch just so that it's just easier to adjust on the fly. Because I do like to do that as well, where I'll use the tap tempo just to change up like from a slapback delay to a longer delay, where I'll just, of course, tap it into the actual tempo of the song. But I like to just use that tap tempo just to get a real quick switch between a slapback echo and a longer echo as well. So that's what I really like with the older one. But yeah, I've got to say it's really good. Like I was saying, I compared it with an older Memory Man delay, this 90s one that I have here. And it's really close, man. It's just the preamp, the color of the preamp that you get from that Memory Man, which is just amazing. And really, in my opinion, is what makes that pedal so good, is that preamp section. And of course, the echo is amazing, the modulation. The whole pedal just in general is incredible, but that preamp is awesome. Even if you didn't use it as a delay, and you just kept it on the whole night. We were just using the preamp. Man, it's really good. Let's see. Ben says, unfortunately, yeah, about this Strymon Brigadier. Let's see. Jimmy says here, been using an exotic EP booster and an MXR Super Badass Overdrive with my old TS9 lately. So far, somewhat happy. That's cool. Nice. Yeah, those EP boosters are cool. They work really well, I find, with like a single coil pickup. I really like it for that, just to get a little bit of a lift, a little bit of low end happening, just a little boost with a Strat or something like that, or even a Tele. Let's see. Jimmy says here, Broadway has totally transformed even a couple years ago. Crazy. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, they put up that 5th and Broadway, which that place is crazy. They have like every single restaurant you could imagine in one building. It's crazy. And then they actually have a really cool rooftop venue as well. I just seen George Lynch there. This was, I don't know, like a month ago or something like this now at this point. But yeah, it is crazy. I mean, I try to stay away from there as much as I can, to be honest, because it's just so expensive. And, it's fun to visit, like when I have people, visiting town or whatever. It's like, oh, let's go to Broadway for a little bit. But, living here, it's just a different story. I just don't really like to go down there very much. Let's see. Using it with my Tele and P90 Junior. Yeah, that's cool. I bet that sounds great for sure. Yeah, those EP boosts are cool. It's a good pedal. Exotic makes really good stuff just in general. Honestly, I really like the RC boost. I like the EP boost. I used to use one of those BB Plus pedals for a while. It's like a dual drive. It worked pretty well in front of a Marshall. It's actually like my first rig that I used here in Nashville was a late 70s JMP. And then I would just hit the front end of it with that BB Plus. It was really good sound for sure. Let's see. We got 615 the guitar in the house. Hey, what's going on, man? You should have seen the place back in the 70s, not even the same town. Yeah, I imagine. I mean, it's crazy. Like I was saying earlier, even just within the past decade, I can't believe how much it's changed. Used to live in West Nashville, man, and that area is just completely blown up. It's wild. But, yeah, the whole town has completely changed, for sure. Let's see. We've got a couple more comments here. 1002 Northeast is in the house. Hey, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it. Jimmy, my name is Justin, but all good. Love your playing, buddy. I'm a professional keyboard player, singer who is getting into the guitar. Do you have any advice for guys like me? I'm not really sure where to start. Well, you could start off by sending me an email at jkm4231@gmail.com. Be happy to teach you. I offer one-on-one private instruction, and the lessons are absolutely amazing. They're all filmed on a 4K definition camera. It's all pro video and pro audio. And what's so cool with these lessons is that you actually get a recorded copy of the lesson itself. So you could always refer back to it. And it's a really, really good platform. This is actually the exact setup that I use for those lessons. But yeah, hit me up at jkm4231@gmail if you wanted to, sign up and take some lessons. But man, do you have any advice for guys like me, like where to start? Yeah, I mean, it's going to take time, that's the biggest thing. I mean, learning the fretboard, just building great foundation is really important. You don't want to go too fast. I think that's something that a lot of guitar players, they always rush everything and they want to try to play as fast as they can. They want to try to, play the fastest lick, right off the bat, but it's just so much better to just take your time and, really work on the basics, right? Learning the fretboard, learning chords, developing your ear, and that's something that's going to take a long time, is developing your ear. But, yeah, I mean, if you're already a keyboard player, then your ear should be somewhat dialed in, if you've been playing for a long time. So, but your ear is just always developing, you're always learning. So, yeah, you just got to be in it for the long haul for sure. And, don't rush anything. is really work on those critical foundation skills as a guitar player, like, learning the fretboard and, learning chords and, really anything like technique wise, that can all come together with time. But really just start off learning that fretboard. It's so important. You'd be amazed how many guitar players have been playing for years that they still don't know the fretboard. So start there. Let's see. Jimmy says here, my new gig might require a modeler, stressing a little about that. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, now for sure. I mean, there's a lot of gigs that just require that. I mean, I have to tell you, the Quad Cortex thing that I've been using, I just use it mainly for like fly gigs. I've honestly been pretty happy with it. It's actually not bad. I mean, it's just very convenient, to use that thing, to be able to throw it into a backpack. But, nothing beats a real tube amp for sure. But, it definitely works. I mean, the effects are pretty solid in it, and, it's very small in size. It just seems to work pretty well. But, yeah, that's the norm nowadays for sure. So, let's see. Thanks and sorry for the screw up on your name. Oh, it's all good. My ear is good, and I hear you on the long haul. I'll send you an email now. Thanks. Hey, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, and actually, while we're already talking about this, I should just take the time to mention that I've got several links linked down below in the description box there. If you guys want to support this channel, there's several ways you guys can do this. I offer one-on-one private instructions, so if you want to learn more about playing guitar and learn about how I think, and even just in general, if you wanted to just do a consultation talking about the music business or talking about YouTube or talking about whatever, I'd be happy to help you guys out. Send me an email at jkm4231@gmail.com. This is the exact setup that I actually use for those lessons and for the live streams, for literally everything. So just send me an email. I'd be happy to get you guys some more information on that stuff. And I'm also a Sweetwater affiliate partner, so check that stuff out if you guys are looking to buy some gear, whether it's a deluxe reverb or a Nobles ODR1 or whatever. I just get a small little commission off the sale. It doesn't cost you guys anything extra whatsoever. I just get a small little commission on it. It's just kind of a cool way to support the channel. And then I've also got some music available as well over on Bandcamp. I just put together the YouTube intros from my videos. I write an original piece, original style of guitar playing here on YouTube to start off these videos. So check that stuff out. It's just like, 16 tracks. And, I just put it up available for sale on Bandcamp. I had a lot of people email me about it, wanting to purchase the actual music that I write for the YouTube intros. So check that stuff out. And I've also got a couple tip jars as well. If you guys feel like you got something out of this live stream, in today's live stream, feel free to throw a little love in the Venmo tip jar, the PayPal tip jar, or, even throw a super chat here on the chat box here. Any and all support is really appreciated. I really do appreciate any and all support there. So thanks for that. And thanks so much, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate this. This is always really cool. Every week, I'm going to be doing these live streams every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. As long as I'm here in town and I'm here in Nashville, I will be going live. So come on and join us and put it down on your calendar. Let's see. Jimmy says here, I'm digging the concept of lightweight, especially after dragging around twins and AC30s for years. Yeah, for sure. Those twins and AC30s, man, they are heavy as all hell. It's a thing with that matchless DC30 that I've got. Man, I love the way that thing sounds, but that thing in a road case, oh my God, it is heavy as all hell. So it is crazy. But love the way that amp sounds for sure. It's really good. But not a big fan of twin reverbs, man, honestly, as a guitar player. I sometimes get those for backline on gigs, and just not crazy about those. They're just very mid-scooped and just, I don't know, I could see for a steel player, those amps being really cool, but for an electric player, man, I'm not a big fan of twin reverbs. But, yeah. Let's see, like moving a safe. Yeah, exactly, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. Insanely heavy. But gotta have a road case, especially when this stuff's going into a trailer or into a truck, man. It's that stuff will just get annihilated. So let's see. Jimmy says here, deluxe reverbs are preferable. Yeah, you really can't go wrong with a deluxe reverb, man. I mean, those the blackface reissue deluxe reverbs, they are awesome. Honestly, I think they sound incredible, and you just can't go wrong, man. You can't really get a bad sound out of those. I turn them up 3 or 4 on the volume, put the bass on 3, put the treble on 5, and then just hit it with pedals. And, using a pedal board like this, with a deluxe reverb is really all you need. Sorry, these pedals aren't mounted, but, that's really all you need, man, for, playing like Nashville style music. It just really works well. So for me, I don't really like to mess around with a huge pedal board setup. And, that's what I love with those deluxe reverbs. You just turn them up and you just hit them with a couple pedals, and that's it. I don't want to be messing around with gear, especially when I'm performing and or if I'm recording. I just want to focus in on just playing guitar, get a cool sound happening, and then just play. So let's see. 615 says here, how's your new band venture coming? It's going, it's going. I'm still writing some music, and, it's really going to take time for sure, but, it's coming along for sure, so stay tuned for that. Let's see. You hit it on the head, bro. Simple setup. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I really don't want to be messing around with hauling in all this different gear on these gigs and, have a pedal board that's 42 inches wide or something like this, and then all of a sudden you're trying to trace down where a cable went bad or a pedal went bad or something, and there's just man, it's just so much better to just run it simple. Have a small amount of pedals, a couple guitars, and that's it. I mean, hell, even as of late, I've just been taking out my Esquire, and that's it. Not even a backup guitar. But just depends on the gig, it depends on the music. Like, I've been working with this traditional country artist, and it's like the music just screams a telly, the whole set. Like, I don't even need anything else. I don't need a Les Paul or an SG or anything. Could be maybe cool. I mean, depending on what song of his that we do, could be cool to get a little bit heavier of a guitar sound. But, really a telly, man, that's all you need. For this guy's music that I'm working with. But yeah, keep it simple for sure. That's the thing. You just don't want to be tracing down, if something goes wrong, or this patch cable goes bad. And that's why I don't like to use those solderless cables. Speaking of cables going bad, man, like, I just try to really stay away from those solderless cables, just to throw this out there for anybody that's looking to build your own pedal board. I really recommend using soldered cables because they just really seem to hold up really well. I've seen people use the solderless stuff out on the road, and it just seems like they're really just not consistent, and they fail a lot. And that's one thing for me, man, as a performer. I just do not want to be messing around with pedal boards or cabling or any of this stuff. I just want to perform and just play. So let's see here. We got a couple more comments here. Jimmy says here, you have a great talent for great riffs. Your intros are almost just add water type songs. Wow, I really appreciate that, Jimmy. Seriously, that means a lot to me. That's really cool. Yeah, I love creating riffs and writing different riffs, different songs. I have so many different ideas, and that was the thing. That's why I want to put my own band together and record my own music, because I just have so many different ideas. I mean, hundreds of different ideas. So, and really with these intros here on YouTube, I really don't spend a lot of time writing this stuff. I really just grab a guitar and I just hit record and just start playing, and that's really it. That's how all of my intros are here on YouTube. And I really feel like that's just, in my opinion, what really separates the men from the boys as a guitar player is like, what can you create, right? What can you write? Like, it's one thing to be able to play fast and to, be able to shred and to do all of this stuff, but, it's not really about how fast you can play. It's not about how many notes that you play. It's not about that. It's all about choosing the right notes, creating something that's really going to be impactful, something that's really going to be good. There's a lot of players out there that, yeah, they can play fast and, they have some technique and stuff, but they can't really create something. They can't really write something. And that's something for me that I've always really worked on, is actually creating something. So instead of just playing a million notes and just, it kind of goes over to the listener's head, it's more impactful. It's just a lot better to actually have something that is relatable, that is good, that it just really connects, I think, with the stuff that I write. So I really do appreciate that, Jimmy. That means a lot to me. Let's see, 1002 Northeast sending you a Venmo tip. Thanks so much. Let's see. Man, thanks so much for the Venmo tip. Wow. I really appreciate that, Orson. Thank you. Seriously, I really do appreciate that. Sound effects. Thanks so much, man. Seriously, I really do appreciate that. Thank you. It really means a lot to me. And once again, folks, if you, feel like you got something out of this live stream and you guys would like to support the channel, these live streams are truly a donation of time. These live streams, as I say, I just do these because I like to connect with everybody and talk with everybody here on YouTube, but it is truly a donation of time. So if you guys feel like you got something out of this and you guys would like to throw a little love in the Venmo tip jar or the PayPal tip jar or throw a super chat here on YouTube, I really would appreciate it. As I say, this is truly a donation of time. So thank you so much, Orson, for the Venmo tip. I really do appreciate that. Really means a lot to me. Let's see, Jimmy from Brooklyn says, great rock player feel. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's definitely, I grew up more of a rocker for sure. The country thing, I've just had to teach myself how to do that stuff because being here in Nashville, it's just a skill set you have to have if you want to work around here. So you really should know how to do that. Because sometimes I work with more traditional country artists, like I was saying earlier. I am working with one currently right now. And, if I was approaching that gig as a rock player, it wouldn't really fit the bill. It wouldn't really fit his music that well. So you have to adjust your technique and adjust your playing style to be able to accommodate these different styles. There's some more pop country gigs that you could get on that playing more like a rock player will work, and that'll be fine. And, that'll be fine and that'll work fine. But, you really should be able to chicken pick. You should be able to do these other styles of guitar playing to accommodate, more of a traditional country kind of a sound. As I say, I was talking about this in a previous video of mine, but you don't want to approach a country gig with an 80s hair metal guitar sound. It just doesn't really work too well. So, let's see here. Bear's Choice is in the house. Hey, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. I'm looking into getting a deluxe reverb reissue. Is it worth getting the hand-wired 64 over the 65? Nah, man, you don't need the hand-wired. Just get the 65 reissue. It works fine and sounds great. I mean, it's just a lot more money for the hand-wired, and you just don't need it. I mean, I've had this 65 reissue deluxe reverb I bring onto the road for a good while now at this point. I don't even know how long. But I've done so many gigs with it, and it just holds up. It sounds incredible, and I really, really recommend getting just the 65. But get the blackface one. Don't get the silverface one. They're okay, the silverface one, but I like the blackface one. Honestly, it definitely sounds better, I think. And just turn them up to 3 or 4, and put the bass on 3, put the treble on 5. And if you want a little bit of reverb off of the amp, maybe dial in some reverb as well. But, I'm not a big reverb guy, so I just normally leave that off. and then I'll just hit it with pedals, man, and that's it. And that is it. For those just joining too, I put together this pedal board. It's not totally finished yet. A couple pedals still need some dual lock, but for those just joining up here, this is the pedal board that I'm going to be using with the deluxe reverb. Speaking of deluxe reverbs, this Lightspeed and this HX1 I have to dual lock down still, but this will be the setup here that I'm going to be using. I'm going to put this RC boost on here in place of this Polytune, but that's the only other pedal that I'm missing for this setup, but really excited about it. I think it'll be really cool, and you know, I'm going to run this into a deluxe reverb, turn it up to 3 or 4, and just hit it with pedals, man, and that's all you need. So really simple setup, really works well. I really recommend all the guitar players out there to have one of these HX1s. These things are absolutely amazing. You can reprogram them to do just about anything. The only downfall with it is obviously you can only activate one effect at a time, but really, you know, for me, it works great because a lot of the time I just need one specialty effect. And what do I mean by specialty effect? Well, you know, if I dial up a you know, reverse delay or a rotary or some kind of a tremolo or maybe, you know, a chorus or something like this, right? You can program this thing up to do any one of those effects. I mean, it has like 200 plus effects in this small little pedal. And the sounds in this thing are just incredible. I mean, they're really, really good. So I can't say enough good things about this HX1. This thing is just absolutely awesome. And, you know, really for me, I just need some great, you know, gain. So like, you know, the Lightspeed is a really cool low to medium gain drive that I use to clean up with the guitar volume knob. And I'm just going to put an RC boost on here to get a little bit more gain out of this Lightspeed. GE7 for the solos, Strymon Brigadier for the delay. And then this HX1 is just a specialty effect for whatever I need, whether it's a reverse delay, if it's a rotary, a chorus, like I was saying, whatever it is that you know, I'm trying to dial up here. But it's just really cool because you can reprogram this thing to do whatever you want. So that's what makes this Line 6 stuff so good, you know. My main pedal board, I have this M9 that's modified by JHV3. And then this here is the new like HX line. But this is the HX1. Really, really good. They also make the HX effects. I've used that for years as well. Another really great pedal there. But this is just a very simple setup. This is all mounted on a Pedal Train Nano Plus. So very small throw and go pedal board. And this is the way that I like to do it as a guitar player. I like to have two pedal boards where I have one that's more of a throw and go setup. And then I have one that's a much bigger pedal board that's just a, you know, really can do everything. It's very versatile. It has every pedal you could want, a couple gain stages on there that do different things. Whereas with this is just right to the point. It's very simple, very bare bone pedal board here. But sometimes for some gigs, this is all I need. You know, if I just want to throw this thing in a little gig bag or something like this, if I'm playing just a club here in town or something, you know, I could just throw this down and just get away with this instead of having to bring my big Pelican case and the classic one pedal board and all these pedals and all this stuff. Sometimes I just don't need all that. So that's where this comes into play here. So I like to have two different pedal boards. So this is that here. Pedal Train Nano Plus, they're really cool. And this will work great with the deluxe reverb. Really awesome. Yeah, I got to find my dual lock. I tried to do that before today's live stream, but I don't know where the hell I put it. Let's see. We've got a couple more comments here. Sending the Venmo tip you're talking about without the last 4 digits. Yeah, I got it. It went through. I really do appreciate that. Seriously. Thank you for the Venmo tip. Once again, folks, if you feel like you got something out of this live stream and you guys would like to support the channel, feel free to throw a little love in the Venmo tip jar like 1002 Northeast did. You know, throw a PayPal tip or a super chat on today's live stream. Any and all support is really appreciated. Also, check out all my links linked down below in the description box. I have several ways you guys can support this channel. Let's see. Jimmy says here, I carry 2 of everything regarding gigs. Yeah, definitely smart for sure. It's definitely smart to have a backup just in case. Let's see. Keith is in the house. Hey, Keith, how's it going? Thanks so much for being here. Morning, folks. Really appreciate you being here. Let's see. Jimmy says here, got that right. Building something entertaining from nothing. That's musical rather than speed, like your buddy with the pool. He's the king of something from nothing. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what's so cool, man. I mean, that's what I love about Tom's playing. He can really create something, and it really takes you on a journey, and that's what I really try to do with my guitar playing as well, is I try to really come up with something and then build it up from nothing, and wherever I go is just where I go. It's all my ear that's telling me where to go. It's the stuff I'm hearing in my head. And every now and again, yeah, I like to throw a little flashy lick in there just because, it's YouTube, and I know a lot of people like that kind of stuff. But that to me is music, when you create something, instead of just noodling, to be honest, like a lot of other players do. It's just random noodling. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. It's not really music, it's just noodling. So that's really something for me that I feel is very unique with my playing, and with Tom's playing. I mean, there's so many great players out there, but those are the kind of players that I just absolutely love. Are guys that can really create something from nothing. Jimmy says, regarding your intros, and going to look into the HX1 for sure. Yeah, definitely check it out, man. I've been really happy with it. I've got to say, it's really cool, really, really versatile pedal. I mean, you could really, and I bought this thing with my own money. I didn't, get it like for free or nothing. I just, paid for it with my own money. But I absolutely love it, man. Honestly, I've got to say, you can really do just about anything with it. You can get all of these different effects out of it, and there's even an effect loop that is on there. Now, the only trade-off with that is that you can't run it stereo. But honestly, with a small pedal board like that, a majority of the time, I'm just going to be running it mono anyways. But what's cool with that effect loop is that you could reposition it within the signal flow of the pedal. So say that you wanted to put your drive section in the effect loop of that HX1, you could route the phase effect, say that was the one effect you were going to be using, you could route that before the effect loop. And that's the way that I like phase 90s, is I like it pre-drive. So that's what's cool, is that, because of course the effect order really changes the way it sounds, which this already, but I'm just sharing this for everybody out there, that depending on where you place the pedal within the chain, it'll really affect the way it sounds. So that's what's really cool, is that you could reposition it wherever you want. So if you want the phase before the drive, if you want to program up a reverse delay that's after the drive, you could easily do that. So that's what's cool with having that effect loop option there. So I thought about maybe putting the drive section of this pedal board into that effect loop of the HX1. And I think that would be really, really cool. So I'm going to look into that for sure and kind of experiment. Never ends with the pedal board setup. Let's see. OAEOEAO is in the house. How's it going? Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. What presets / sounds are you into on the HX1? So right now, I haven't really experimented all too much with it. I've just heard a couple sounds that I really liked. And I mean, this HX stuff, I used to use the HX effects for years at this point. But I loved like the script mod phase. That was a really good preset for a phase 90 sound. The tremolos are really good. Basically, any modulation effect out of the HX stuff sounds absolutely incredible. And even the delays, I love the analog with mod delay. That's my favorite delay that I use off of the M9. And I have the M9 that's modified by JHV3 on my main pedal board. I just use it because I've had it for years now at this point. So I just don't want to upgrade and have to change out anything. So it just works great for me. I love that pedal too. The M9 is absolutely incredible. With the mod though, I would say it really helps that pedal out for sure. But the HX stuff is just absolutely awesome, man. I think it sounds incredible. The modulations, the delays. I'm not crazy about the drives in the HX. That's why I just use real analog drives, because they just sound better. The drives sound a little digital to me. But the analog drives, it cleans up really well with the guitar volume knob, and it sounds killer. I mean, with the delays and the modulations off of the HX1. But, like I was saying, what makes it so cool is that a lot of the time, I only need one specialty effect, and that's all that I really use. I mean, it's mainly drive and a delay, and then maybe I'll need a tremolo, or maybe I need a rotary. And, depending on the song, you could easily program up a different preset to where you could change the preset on the fly, where it's like, okay, if I needed a rotary and a reverse delay in one song, let's just say, for example, you could just select between the two different presets and just use them one at a time. I wouldn't use those sounds together ever. So it just works really well for me. Let's see. 1002 Northeast asks here, how do you feel about EQ pedals? Do you find them useful, or are you from the school of the thought where the amp and guitar is 90% of the sound and there shouldn't be a need for an EQ pedal? Oh, no, EQ pedals, yeah, you definitely need an EQ pedal, for sure. I'm a huge fan of the EQ stuff, for sure. I mean, the GE7, to me, you don't have to get it modified. You don't have to do anything. Just get it completely stock as is. Just get one brand new. They sound absolutely incredible. And what's great with an EQ is that depending on what guitar that you have plugged up, you can readjust depending on what you're playing, right? Like a single coil, like a Strat. Maybe you want to, boost a little bit of low end or something, right? Or maybe take down a little bit of high end and just keep the bass just neutral. Just take a little bit of high end down. You can re-EQ the guitar. It's so important, especially as a guitar player, to use EQ to really shape your sound and to fit within a mix. It's so important. And really for me, I like to use the EQ more as a solo boost, where when I'm going in for my leads, because in general, the guitar sound I love so much. Like, I like to hear the differences of a single coil versus a humbucking pickup versus a P90 pickup. I like to hear these differences. So the EQ I mainly just use just to add a little bit of mid-range, just to cut within a live mix, to really cut through when I'm going in for my solo. But it is just useful in general. Like, if you're recording guitar, as I was saying, if you wanted to just shape the overall sound and just change what it is that what tone you're playing with, and really get a certain part to fit, it's just awesome. The EQ is just so useful, and it's so versatile. You can really use it for anything. And I love just the stock Boss GE7, and it just works great. So, for me, like I was saying, I just run it post drive, where I just add just a little bit of mid range just to be able to really cut through a live mix when I'm going in for my solo, or if I need a particular part to really jump out. But that's really it, because my sound is already mid-rangey. That's what I try to go for in general. I try to dial up the best possible sound I can get off of the rig and the amp, and just in general what I'm using. So I'm normally really happy with that sound. I just want to elevate it just a little bit. And that's really my whole approach with playing with gain as well, is that I start off with a low to medium gain amount, like this light speed I really like, just as like a home base, where I'll just start off with that. And then I just elevate the amount of gain that I play with. So boosting it with the RC boost beforehand, just to get a little bit more gain. And then the EQ just to, finish it off for all of my lead and any kind of, ID licks, intro licks, stuff like this that I really want to be able to poke out of a mix. So that's the way that I like to play with these pedals, is just elevate the amount of gain that I'm playing with, just so that I have somewhere to go. If it's a part that I'm hearing in my head that, I need a little bit more gain for, or I just want it to jump out a little bit, I just want to have somewhere to go. I don't ever want to be just like, okay, it's this sound and that's all I have. I just want to be able to really play with a lot of dynamics and really take it somewhere. Like we were talking about earlier, about how I write something from nothing, right? I want to be able to take the listener on a journey, and from phrasing to writing a riff, right? And even just with the gain, it really helps on, taking your listener for a ride, because I'm playing with dynamic, right? I'm increasing the amount of gain, I'm coming back down, then I'll increase it, right? I just always want to have the ability to go somewhere. I don't ever want to just have one particular sound. So, let's see. Jimmy says here, I share that opinion, but I like to step on the gas once in a while too. Yeah, totally. Let's see. Keith says here, do you keep your guitars perfectly in tune, or do you slightly back off the G string a hair flat to compensate for that G string going out of tune? Yeah, so really with that, you have to make sure that your guitar nut is dialed in. It really has to be cut right. It's so important. So what I do is, if you just apply a little bit of pressure behind the nut, check to see if that string is binding up within the actual slot of the nut slot itself. And what'll happen is when you apply pressure behind the guitar nut, it's either two things will happen. Either the string will actually go sharp, or it'll just remain steady. It won't change tuning whatsoever. It'll just stay the same pitch. So if you just apply a little bit of pressure and it goes sharp, that means that the string is binding up within the actual nut slot itself. So it needs to be filed. But the biggest thing is you really have to find somebody that really knows what they're doing, because it's a very precise job. And it's really frustrating to me because a lot of the reissue instruments leave the factories with the nut not even dialed in. It's like literally, I've had guitars where every single string was binding up on the nut that I was checking out at the store. And it's just always something to look for when you're shopping for a new guitar, because it really will help these tuning stability. And you won't have that issue with the G string at all. It's just that nut slot, man. It's all in the nut on this on these electric guitars, man. It's so important to have that dialed up. So I never back off the G string a hair flat. Something that is hard to keep in tune on an electric guitar are major third intervals. That's just something that is just, it is what it is with playing electric guitar. It's very difficult to get those major third intervals in tune. It just is what it is. That's why you'll see like orchestras that are in tempered tunings is what it's called, to adjust to get that major third in tune. It's just in general within music, major third intervals are very hard to get in tune, for sure, to get it exactly perfect. So, but great question for sure. I really appreciate all the engagement, guys. Thanks so much for being here. I really do appreciate this. Once again, if you guys would like to support this channel, feel free to check out my links down below. Feel free to throw a little love in the Venmo tip jar and the PayPal tip jar. Throw a super chat here on the live stream. Any and all support is really appreciated. I've gotten a couple Venmo tips already, or actually just one here, but I really do appreciate that. So thank you to those that have sent the tips. It really means a lot to me. These live streams are just a donation of time, really. I just do this because I like to connect with everybody and, help you guys out. So once again, check out my links linked down below. If you guys would like to sign up for one-on-one private instruction, I offer that. My email is linked down below there. It's jkm4231@gmail.com. And everything is filmed on a 4K definition camera. This setup that you see and that you're listening to is the exact setup that I use for these lessons. So it's all really, really professional. It's not some shoddy film or something, or any kind of glitching up or any kind of freezing up or anything. It's really professional. And what's really cool with these lessons is that you get a recorded copy of the lesson itself at the end. So you could keep watching it and, download the video and just go through at your own pace and really be able to, rewatch the lesson over and over and over again. So it's a really awesome platform, and it just works incredibly well. I'm so happy with it. So take your guitar playing, your musicianship to the next level. Hit me up today at jkm4231@gmail.com today. Teaching people from all over the world, so it's been really, really cool. And really appreciate everybody that has taken the lessons up to this point. It really means a lot to me. I've had several students here in the live chat today, so appreciate it. But once again, folks, if you have any questions for me, feel free to drop it there in the chat box. I can't believe I've already been going for almost 55 minutes now already. That's crazy, man. These live streams just fly by. But once again, for those that are just joining up here, I put together this little pedal board that's not totally finished yet. But here it is here. Pretty cool. Little Pedal Train Nano Plus. I'm going to put an RC boost in place of this tuner. But I'm just going to use this within the just with a deluxe reverb. You know, it really works well, and it's all I need, really. You know, sometimes I like to just have this throw and go pedal board. This pedal's not dual locked, and this pedal's not dual locked. That's why it's moving around there. But still got to do that. I couldn't find my dual lock earlier, so I was going to try to do that before today's live stream, but I don't know where the hell I set it, so I may have to get some more. But yeah, this is the setup here. It's all on a Pedal Train Nano Plus, and just works really well. You know, I like to have two different pedal boards where I have one that's a full-featured pedal board that's on a Classic 1, and then something that's a little bit smaller that's just more of a throw-and-go kind of setup. And that's what this is here. It's a very throw-and-go setup, but still really versatile, and you can really get a lot of cool sounds out of it. So I wanted to share that with everybody here for those that are just joining us here. But there's that. And then also, too, I wanted to make mention of some pedals that I have available for sale as well. I just seen this comment here. Jimmy says here, check the Tone Garage for the tone lock. Yeah, for sure. It's somewhere out there. I got to go through the Tone Garage and see where the hell it went. I don't know. There's so much stuff out there, from road cases and, you know, my workbench and just tools and stuff. It's crazy. So, you know, I got to go through everything. But looks like here we got another Venmo tip. Thanks so much for the Venmo tip, Keith. I really, really do appreciate it. That really means a lot to me. Some sound effects. Thanks, Keith. Appreciate the Venmo tip. It means a lot to me. And once again, folks, if you feel like you got something out of this live stream and you guys would like to support this channel, feel free to throw a little love in the Venmo tip jar, the PayPal tip jar, or throw a little super chat here on YouTube. Any and all support is really appreciated. Check out all my links linked down below in the description box as well, and ways that you can support this channel. There's a lot of different ways you can. So now, I have a few pedals that are available for sale. I'm just going to mention it here on today's live stream. So first things first here, I have this Prescription Electronics Experience Fuzz. This is from the 90s. It's just missing one knob, but and it's also missing a screw. But this you know, pedal is awesome. It's from the 90s. It's a Prescription Electronics Experience Fuzz. So check it out. This thing is just awesome. I absolutely love the way that this thing sounds. So I'll definitely regret selling it, but I'm just asking $500 on this plus shipping, only within the US on this stuff. So $500 plus shipping. Hit me up at my email, jkm4231@gmail.com. Feel free to hit me up, you know, and I'd be happy to sell this to you and ship it out. So only within the US again. Then I have here this MXR Reverb. This is a really cool reverb pedal. This is only just $100. I'm just asking on this. So $100 plus shipping. It's in really good shape. I just have some Velcro on the back of it, but that's really about it. So MXR Reverb, $100 plus shipping on this. And once again, only within the US on this. And then I have a Boss VB2. This is from the 80s. Really clean condition here. Get that to focus. There we go. Look at that. Super clean. There was never any dual lock or Velcro on the back of this back plate here. But this here is going to be $500 plus shipping on this as well. Really collectible pedal here from the 80s. These are just awesome too, man. These original VB2s are so cool. And then just the last one here, I've got this Sir Coco Boost. Really great mid-range boost and a clean boost. So this is a really cool pedal because you could use this clean boost to boost the front end of an amp. Say if you were to be using a deluxe reverb and you're playing a Strat, well, you could use this boost section here and boost it just a little bit, get a little bit more low end, just kind of fatten up the single coil. And then when you go in for your solo, you can just hit it with a mid-range boost. So it's really cool there. Basically exactly what I do with the Boss GE7, where I just boost a little bit of mid-range. You could just have this preset here just with a single knob and really kick in for a solo with this mid-range boost and then switch back to your clean boost side. So this is a really cool pedal here. This is just $150 plus shipping on this. So once again, if you were to be interested in this stuff, send me an email at jkm4231@gmail.com and we'll arrange everything and set it all up. So be happy too to send any more photos if you guys wanted to see anything else. So with the pedals here. So let's see here. We have another comment from 1002 Northeast. I found a guitar at a music store that was new, but really inexpensive. I couldn't believe the tone it had. I bought it. I've been so pleased with it. I'm going to put tape over the name. Oh, no, man. I mean, that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. There's some great instruments out there, and it's all about what inspires you. You shouldn't feel insecure about an instrument because it's inexpensive. It's all about what inspires you. If you really like that instrument, you don't have to listen to somebody else's opinion. It doesn't matter what they think. If you really enjoy it and you really are inspired by this instrument and you feel that it brings out the best in your playing, you're excited to play it, you're inspired to play it, that's really all that matters. There's a lot of that, especially here on YouTube, where a lot of guys are, giving their opinions on stuff, and it's just like, man, that is not, that's fine, really with everybody. Everybody has their own opinion on stuff, but there's no right or wrong answer, with this stuff. It's all about what inspires you, and it doesn't matter what the price of it is. It could be a 64 Strat that you absolutely love, and I love my 64 Strat. It's what inspires me, but it could also be, a PRS SE1 or something like this, that's a very inexpensive, $400 or $500 guitar or whatever. I mean, some of those guitars, especially nowadays, that are affordable, like $500 guitars, they're really solid instruments, man. They're set up well. There's no sharp fret edges. I mean, when I was learning to play, it was either you could get a $99 Squier Strat that was terrible and the action was way, way high and it was like unplayable and really sharp fret edges, or you could get a Gibson Les Paul Studio for, $1,500 or whatever it was back in those days. So that's really the only option that you had back in those days when you were learning to play guitar. I know when I got my Les Paul Studio, when I was learning to play this, I was like 2 or 3 years into learning how to play. And, when I got that guitar, I was like, man, this is so much better than what I had been learning on. It really, really inspired me to play. So that's what it's all about. It's all about finding those instruments that inspire you to play. So, and especially nowadays, there's so many great cheap instruments that are available now. It's incredible. Let's see. Keith says here, those tip jar sound effects are killing me. Hey, well, all in fun. That's fun. Let's see. Jimmy says here, I have an Epiphone 335 that's unbelievable. Yeah, definitely. There's some cool ones, for sure. Let's see. Who do you recommend for setups around town? I have a Japan Telecaster that needs some work done. Man, there's so many guys here. I mean, you could take it to Joe Glazer. I mean, those guys are awesome over there. I mean, they do really good work. I mean, there's so many guys here. I mean, that just is what comes to mind, Glazer. Other recommendations I would have, they're touring and out on the road as a tech for artists, so that probably wouldn't be too good to recommend them, obviously, just because they're out on the road and busy. So I honestly would just take it to Glazer, man. I think they're great. Let's see. Okay. Man, I've already been going for an hour. Jeez, that's crazy. But yeah, once again, folks, I really appreciate everybody being here. It really means a lot to me. And if you guys feel like you got something out of this live stream and you guys want to support the channel, once again, feel free to throw a little love in the Venmo tip jar or the PayPal tip jar, or throw a super chat here. I've gotten several Venmo tips here today in today's live stream, so I really do appreciate those that are supporting the channel. And once again, check out the links linked down below in the description box. I offer one-on-one private instruction. Hit me up today at jkm4231@gmail.com. It's all very professional, and this setup that I use here is the exact setup that I use for teaching these lessons. It's pro video, pro audio. It just looks and sounds great, and you get a recorded copy of the lesson itself at the end of the lesson. So hit me up today at jkm4231@gmail.com, be happy to get you guys down in the books today. And love teaching. I've been teaching people from all over the world now at this point, and it's just been absolutely incredible. So let's see. Keith says here, thank you for the live stream. Have a great week, Justin, and everyone in the chat. Thanks so much, Keith. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. We've had some really good engagement in today's live stream. Thanks again for everybody being here and writing these comments. And something I do want to mention as well is every week, every Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be going live here on YouTube. So just put that down on your calendar and come on back and join us. Any questions that you guys have for me, I'm happy to answer. The only questions that I try to stay away from are, questions that are more like music theory or more guitar techniques, more in-depth guitar playing, just because I save that all for my students. So it just wouldn't be fair to the students that I'm teaching as they're hiring me and paying me to do this. So, but anything else is fair game. I'm happy to answer whatever. Talk about guitar gear or just talk about Nashville, talk about whatever. So, once again, every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be going live here on YouTube. So if you guys have any other questions for me, feel free to drop it there in the chat box now. I'll probably go here for another couple minutes and probably sign off here. Looks like some people are bailing here. But Jimmy says here, great live stream, Justin. Have a great Sunday. Oh, thanks so much, Jimmy. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much for being here as always. And you've been a very loyal supporter, so I really do appreciate that. And very thankful to all the fans out there that support me and support this channel. So could not do this stuff without you guys, and that's something I think about all the time. Is it's all because of you guys as to why I'm able to do this stuff here on YouTube and to be able to live the life that I live. So I'm forever grateful to that. So thank you guys for that. Really means a lot to me. So once again, guys, if you guys have any other final questions for me, feel free to drop it there in the chat box. And, if you guys feel like you got something out of this live stream and you guys would like to support the channel, feel free to check out my links down below in the description box. If you want to throw a little love in the Venmo tip jar, the PayPal tip jar, if you guys want to sign up for a lesson, hit me up today. My email is linked down below there. I'm a Sweetwater affiliate partner. I've got original music out there that are YouTube intros that I've written for my videos here that I had a lot of people request that I just offer the audio just itself for the intros because they wanted to purchase it and be able to listen to it. So that's all available. All those links are linked down below in the description box there. Let's see. We got Curveball in the house. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Justin, not sure if this has been asked already since I got here late, but what picks do you use? Do you use shoulder? Do you use the shoulder like a lot of Nashville guys? No, so I use personally, it depends on what I'm playing. If I'm playing acoustic or electric, it varies. But for electric, I like to use these here. Try to get that to focus maybe. Damn it. Well, I can't get it to focus, but these are Dunlop 2.0 picks here. I really like these a lot. They're much thicker, but I like that it's thicker for electric because I don't want the pick to flex at all. But for acoustic, I'll use like paper thin picks just to be able to get that string noise happening, because if you use too thick of a pick, that's not going to really come through. So I like to use like paper thin picks on acoustic. So really, really thin. I don't know the exact thickness. It kind of varies, but just a thinner pick in general is what I use for acoustic. So, and no, I don't use the shoulder. I just attack it just with the just the edge here. So, but yeah, appreciate the question. Thanks so much. Excellent, thank you. Yeah, no problem. I appreciate the question, and thanks so much for being here. But with that, folks, I'm going to sign off here. I, once again, really appreciate everybody being here. And once again, if you guys want to support this channel, feel free to throw a tip in the Venmo tip jar or the PayPal tip jar. Check out all the links linked down below in the description box. I have some pedals available for sale. It's a 90s prescription electronics experience fuzz. I have an 80s Boss VB2 for sale, a Sur Coco Boost, and an MXR reverb pedal available for sale. So if you guys were to be interested in those, you can just send me an email at my email that's linked down below there. It's jkm4231@gmail.com. And once again, I really appreciate all the questions. Put it down on your calendar that every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be going live here. As long as I'm here in town, here in Nashville, which for this month, I'm taking this month off. So I will be here every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, going live here on YouTube. So thank you guys once again so much for all the support. It really means the world to me. And we'll see you all next time. Take care. Stay tuned for more videos coming up as well, folks. Got a bunch more videos coming up here on YouTube. So thank you again, and take care.